What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Of course, you know it's your boy B-Hop Radio Shout, and as always, I got my podcast partner up in this thing, OG Gangsta Wicked, aka Big Galaxy of Ghetto Mafia.
What's going on now? The other day when I came in here and I had my So Def shirt on.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I got a DM from Jermaine.
Okay then.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Jermaine said I look great in the shirt.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I guess he gonna send us some more shirts.
Don't flatter him, JD, please.
and you know what I'm saying? I don't know. We might be working on something. I ain't gonna let the cat out of the bag. I'm gonna see.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Another thing too. Tomorrow 9 a.m.
That's right.
Friday 9 a.m. You will be dropping Side to Side featuring Kane from the Yin Yang Twins. Young Bleed out of Baton Rouge for all my Louisiana partners.
That's right.
Planet Pete DSGB. He was on the internet. Vice versa.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And yours truly. We got a new video, so y'all check for it tomorrow 9 a.m. B-High will be dropping the world premiere, and I will be out at the patio Sunday.
Okay then.
With 107.5.
Okay.
Performing it live.
Let's get it.
Yes, sir.
I mean, so basically you just say you busy, booked and busy.
I'm a busy man.
Okay.
I'm a busy man.
Do you even got time for the show anymore?
I gotta see it. We gonna talk about it.
Okay. Yeah, we gotta have
We gotta talk about it.
Okay, I'm with that, but we got an A-Town legend, icon, and forefather off in this thing.
Yes.
Royal C of the Hard Boys, what's good with it, boss?
Hey man, it's lovely being alive. You know? Hey man, I'm just keeping it pushing.
Tell us who you brought with you though. You brought
hey man, I
with
brought
you?
my daughter Nolo with me.
Yeah.
You know
what up,
I mean?
Nolo?
That's gonna be one of my future artists. Y'all will hear from her later on. I just had her to sit in, see what's going on with the music industry. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to, before we even, get started into a few of the A-Town classics. Everybody calls me the OG of the city. What I'm saying? Man, get on Mafia, man, Wick, man, you know what I'm saying? And I always be like, you know what? I can't even take that. I can't take that crown.
Yes, you can.
You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, nah, that was a group before me. That was a group before us.
That's right.
That we got a lot of stuff from.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And that was this man right here, the Hard Boys. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Road to Nowhere. A goddamn sawed off pump.
Yeah.
Man, so many A-Town classics, man. So I want to salute you.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Because you did get a game to a lot of us. People, you and I was talking on the phone, and a lot of people just assume that we don't fuck around.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I get it all the time.
Yeah. They be like, man, why you don't never mention the Hard Boy? I said, nigga, you must don't follow me. I post the Hard Boys more than anybody.
Yes.
I talk about
more
the Hard
than
Boy.
me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I ain't really that social media.
Right. But I know people hit you and be like, man, Wick don't posted you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I just wanted to clarify that up, that we are partners. We go all the way back in the city. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody turn that against us. Now, man, jumping right into it. How did the Hard Boys come to be? And you said you told me a minute ago that you talked to Lynn. So take us through all that. DJ Lynn, what's happening then?
So man, shout out to Success and Effect, and they just lost Lazy Rock not long ago.
Oh man.
So rest in peace, Lazy. But me and Kerry, me and one of the guys in the Hard Boys, we
KT
was around KT. We was in the neighborhood and. We used to look up to Lynn. They were one of the first artists that we was around anyway at that time that was doing their thing and whatever. And he heard us rapping one day. We was just some street cats that liked to write and stuff. And so we used to fill the fatter with the pen. And he heard us. He was like, hey, man, why don't y'all start it? Let's do a group. I want to put y'all out. I was like, damn, sound like a good idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Make a long story short, we started messing with Lynn, and we was really doing Atlanta-based music.
Okay.
Not so much as just Atlanta-based music. We was on that, and just like some reality type stuff too at the same time, but more so bass.
Kind of kilo-ish.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
Deep.
That deep. Okay.
Yeah, because we was still street cats.
Gotcha.
And,
70 sound.
Yes, on that level.
Gotcha.
On that level.
Gotcha.
And we kept turning in songs, and Lynn was like, nah, man, I want y'all to talk and act like y'all are in the streets. Cause y'all wild, man. I want y'all to bring that, whatever you want to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And so him doing that sort of groomed us into being aggressive with the music. And so, yeah, shout out to Lynn, man, and Success and Effect. Yeah, that's who I pretty much, I've had other people that I've dealt with in music, but that's where my beginning to enter into the industry started right there.
Well, Lynn, shout out to Lynn, man. What's happening, Lynn? Yeah. Then you pivot, you know what I'm saying? Y'all get together. Now, when Lynn started y'all, was that all three of y'all together, or did, you add members as it went? How did that go?
So
to get all three of y'all, what we know, D, KT, Raw C.
Right. So me and KT started out with DJ Lynn and them, right?
Okay.
And so it got to a point to where he couldn't push us to the level of where we wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
And no, it wasn't no hard feelings. And then D was like, hey man, I know that dude named Timbo.
Mm-hmm.
Timbo. Lil Dave and Joe.
Lil Dave and Joe Peavy. What's happening?
Yeah.
Them A-Town legends, they were before you be high. I know you don't heard of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Hey man, you could just say
JoJo and Dave.
Yeah. We didn't realize it at the time, but we was the BMF of Atlanta.
Yeah,
that time.
No doubt.
And so, shout out to Big Meech and them, man, too.
Yeah.
But me and Kerry, D came to us. We was already connected in the streets, and so D was like, hey man, we can do this group, and Timbo put us out. And so, make a long story short, we hooked up with Timbo. Timbo turned us on to Lil Joe, which is Young Jesus' cousin, and then Lil Dave, and we went from there. And
I got that right there. Wow, A-Town Hardheads, man, y'all dropped that. The city was crazy. Y'all was kind of the first ones out. It had that's back when kind of Eazy-E and NWA and all those guys was out. So y'all were like our version of that.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? How did that album come about, and what was it like, saying back then being the first group and kind of carrying the torch for the ATL?
It was a shock at first, like because we were just so used to being street, man. We was in and out of jail and doing all this stuff, and then to get with somebody to say, hey man, look, we need y'all to focus on this music. We gonna take care of y'all. Y'all can have whatever y'all want, just do that music.
Right.
And so and I want to shout out to Dallas Austin and Claude Austin too, man.
Yeah.
The late Claude Austin, man, because they played a role in the Hard Boys as well. They was inside the camp. Kevin Wills, shout out to Kevin Wills, and they actually saw us. I think we went to a Ice Cube concert or something. And stuff got crazy in the concert, and our name was originally Assault and Battery.
Oh, okay.
So I was gonna be Assault, KT was gonna be Battery, right. But then when we added D,
you can't do that.
No. Yeah. And so Claude kept telling her, man, y'all, I like that Assault and Battery, I like that, but man, y'all crazy as hell. Like,
I think Assault and Battery means you're pretty crazy too. I think Hard Boys was a nicer name.
But the late Claude Austin, man, he was at that particular concert that they had at the Omni, the old Omni. And we ended up getting into it with some people in the inside and the outside. And after it was over, the little ordeal was over and everything, as Claude came to us, he said, man, you know what I'm finna start calling y'all? The Hard Boys, man. Y'all niggas crazy, right? And so I was like, the Hard Boys, I hated this shit. I hated the name, right? Because it was so plain, and I didn't want that. I ain't the type of guy that try to act like or be
hard.
Yeah, right. It ain't that.
Right.
It's just that, I'm a good guy.
Right.
I'm humble.
Yeah.
But don't play with me.
Exactly.
Right.
Right.
And so they ran with the name, man. Lil Dave and Joe ran with the name, and it sort of grew on us.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I'm feeling this, it's all right, But
Yeah. Y'all did that song, Groupies. You mentioned in LaFace Records. I want to say, didn't y'all put a video out? And cause I think Andre Rison was in that video.
Yeah.
But did that video come out? Did that come out through LaFace? Or what was the deal with that?
So the thing, what was going on with Dave and Joe? They was basically looking for a distribution deal for Ansar Entertainment, which that was their company. And if I'm telling, I want to get the whole thing right, because we had Dallas and Kevin Wells and them on their side, and so Dallas would have brought that connection with LaFace Records. And so what I think happened was they walked us in to do a deal with LaFace, and what they were offering, we already had.
Right.
And so that opened the doors. We turned down the deal, and that opened the doors for Big Boy and Andre.
Wow.
For Outkast.
Wow.
And so instead of us signing to Rowdy and LaFace, we just did our own thing, independent.
Okay.
Yeah. And so,
but I could have swore I saw LaFace on that video in particular, the groupie song. How did that song come about?
You probably did. Man, that song. So we were just performing, and we were just locally performing.
Okay.
And I was like, man, look at what's going on with the females just thinking up.
Right.
I'm like, man, we need to do it, man. Well, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and so I didn't want to be degrading or disrespectful.
Right.
When I talked about the song, but at the same time, I mean, as far as the name was concerned, but in the content, you'll find, how young cats act today, like, man, fuck that bitch.
Yeah.
So
take us through, Armed Robbery. These are a lot of songs that I know B How over there probably. I'm gonna send you a mixtape. You know what I'm saying?
You always do this, man. You always bring up that Armed Robbery.
Yeah, that Armed Robbery. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. How did the Armed Robbery come about? These are songs that, matter of fact, when I let a few of my partners know that I was gonna have you on, they're like, you better ask them about Armed Robbery. You better ask them about songs. So I'm coming with Sawed Off Pump that. But how did Armed Robbery come about? How did y'all make that song?
Geeked up, tripping, went ahead and leak.
Oh Lord!
During the rising of the group, like we still had a foot in the streets and a foot
in the
game now, but we didn't quite grasp how big it could have gotten or how big we were at the time.
Right.
And so we wanted to have some leverage. And so we spreaded our legs. Huh?
Right.
Had the foot in the street. So with Armed Robbery, hey man, like I said, the night we recorded the song, that day we had just went ahead of leg. And and it went from there. We wrote the song prior to it. We changed some of the addresses and all that. So College Park, we love y'all. We love College Park. They always say, hey man, I take a ride, you know what I mean? I exit off at College Park.
Yeah.
So they be like, hey man, what you got? Hey, I don't have so many dudes talking about, hey man, you robbed me, didn't you?